Good morning, pre-K class. It is Monday, April 13, 2020. Our wonderful word of the week is agriculture. Now, agriculture has anything to do with farming, whether it's raising animals for food, whether it's raising animals for dairy, or even growing crops. So this week we're going to be talking about the word agriculture. Let's say our morning message today. Animals begins with A. So one of our letters of the week is A. Apple Annie says her name begins with an A. What does your name begin with? Let's say our morning message again. Animals begins with A. Our word of the week also begins with A. Let's clap that out together with me. Agriculture. How many syllables did you hear? Agriculture. Agriculture. How many? That's right. 4. And what letter does it begin with? It sure does. Here's the word again. Anything to do with farming is called agriculture. So this morning, we're going to read a book called Farm Animals. How many of you have ever been to a farm? Do you have any relatives that have a farm? I love farms because I love nature and I love animals. So I can't wait to read this nonfiction book. The title of the book is Farm Animals. Life on the farm. Here's our table of contents. And if you want to find any animals like cattle, horses, they're on page 11. Hogs, they're on page 14. Sheep and goats are on page 17. And poultry, anything to do with chickens or turkeys, they're on page 18. Our glossary at the back of the book tells us some new words that you may not know, or maybe you do, but it tells us the word and what it means. So let's go ahead and begin reading our nonfiction book about farm animals. Farm animals, there's one right there. Many North American farmers raise animals. Farmers are animals for meat, milk, eggs, and wool. Farmers sell these products to earn a living. They make money by selling these products. Beef, cattle, sheep, hogs, and chickens supply most of these products. Long ago, American farmers used some kinds of farm animals to do farm work. Working farm animals are not often used now. Machinery and equipment have taken their place in working the field. So they used to use farm animals to plow the crops. But now they use machineries like tractors. Farmers raise beef cattle like this Hereford in Wisconsin for their meat. This cow will one day maybe be a steak or a hamburger. Most modern animal farms raise one kind of animal for sale. The dairy farmer raises cattle that give large amounts of milk. A dairy farmer is not likely to raise sheep or hogs too. They pick one animal to raise. Farm animals are also called domestic animals or livestock. There's a new word for you, livestock, domesticated animals. Farmers have raised domestic animals for thousands of years. Domestic animals are much tamer than wild animals, so they are used for being around people. This is a domestic goat. The female goat or a nanny is part of a dairy goat herd. They raise goats for milk and cheese as well. If you ever have had goat cheese, it's more of a softer cheese. My daughter likes goat cheese. The most common farm animals are cattle, horses, sheep, hogs, chickens, and turkeys. A few farmers in North America raise goats, donkeys, rabbits, mules, ducks, geese, and guinea fowl. Farmers raise many breeds of each kind of farm animal. Each breed is a little different than the others. The Holstein breed of a dairy cattle, for example, gives more milk than other cattle breeds. This Guernsey cow here gives less milk than a Holstein cow, but the Guernsey's milk is creamier. So if you like creamier milk, you would want milk from this cow. Cattle. We have some of these in Texas. Do you know what these are called? See the longhorns? Yep, they're called longhorns. Many dairy cattle are raised on small, family-owned farms. Most cows on dairy farms are female because female cows give us milk and cream. Milk and cream can be made into butter, ice cream, cheese, and yogurt. Do you like butter? Do you like ice cream? Do you like cheese? I love cheese. Yeah, if you like yogurt or all those things, they come from cows. Most beef cattle are raised on big ranches in Florida or the West. Beef cattle are used for meat. These longhorn beef cattle live on a Texas ranch. If you've ever seen those when you're driving down the freeway and you've seen those before, those are really, really cool cows. I don't know if I'd want to get too close. Why not? Here's some horses. This section is about horses. Before cars and tractors, people needed horses. People rode horses from place to place. And before they had cars, they rode horses. Draft horses plowed fields and pulled wagons and sleighs. Farmers today raise horses mostly to ride for fun. A few farmers will use draft horses to pull a plow. Draft horses are heavier than riding horses. They're stronger and thicker. They have stronger and thicker legs too, so they can pull big loads. These rare Limousin stallion is a highly trained riding horse. This horse is used for tricks and riding. Hogs. This section is about hogs, or we like to call them pigs. Farmers raise hogs for their meat. Bacon and ham are two of the meat products from hogs that you might eat, or even pork chops. Farmers raise hogs in pens, either indoors or outdoors. Pigs outdoors like to stay in mud pools. They also like to poke their snouts into soil to find food. Hogs eat mostly corn and grain, as most farm animals do as well. Sheep and goats. Sheep and goats. When I was little, I had a goat, and we raised our goats for milk. Sheep and goats are really fun too. Sheep are raised for both meat and for wool. The wool is the thick, warm hair that covers the sheep. And sometimes they make clothes out of wool and blankets. Mother sheep are called ewes. Their babies are called lambs, and they sometimes have twins or triplets. Goats are close cousins of sheep. Most North American goat farmers raise goats for milk and goat cheese. Young goats are called kids. Can you make a sound like a goat? Poultry. Poultry are things like chickens and turkeys. Birds raised on farms are called poultry. The most common kinds of poultry in North America are chickens and what is this? Yes. Did you have a turkey for Thanksgiving? Turkeys are the biggest farm birds, and they sometimes weigh more than 40 pounds. That's a big turkey. Farmers raise chickens for meat and for eggs. Turkeys, ducks, and geese are raised for meat alone, but chickens are also raised for eggs. Did you visit our chickens before we had to go on spring break? Yeah, how many of you visited the chickens? They're at Miss Valentino's house right now. She's taking really good care of our June W. Davis chickens. Here, an Iowa blue breed rooster crows on a poultry farm. And this Toulouse geese parades across a pasture they share with dairy goats. See, they share pastures with other animals. I love the farm. And if you have any questions, we go to the back of the book and we locate a word and we find out what it means. Did you just learn a new word? How about draft? Remember the draft horses? Well, they're used for pulling big loads. So draft means to use for pulling big loads. We're going to be studying this book this week, and we're going to be looking at some farm animals. So if you have any farm animals or toys or books that have farm animals in them, today I want you to go look in your house for any books that have farm animals or any toys that are farm animals. I want you to make a little collection so you can refer back to them this week as we talk about animals. Animals begins with what letter? That's right. What letter does it end with? Yes, an F. So today we're going to end our lesson by singing, "Old MacDonald had a farm." Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O, with a cow here and a cow there, everywhere a cow, cow, everywhere a cow, cow. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a... what? How about a duck? E-I-E-I-O, with a duck here and a cow there, everywhere a duck, everywhere a cow, cow. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a rooster, E-I-E-I-O, with a cock-a-doodle here and a cock-a-doodle there, everywhere a rooster, everywhere a rooster. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a pig, E-I-E-I-O, with a oink oink here and a there, here, everywhere, oink oink. Old MacDonald had a pig, E-I-E-I-O. Let's see what else we can sing. Old MacDonald had a what? A horse, E-I-E-I-O, with a and a everywhere, everywhere, a neigh-neigh. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Old MacDonald had a what? How about a goat? E-I-E-I-O, with a ma here and a ma there, everywhere, ma, everywhere, ma. Old MacDonald had a farm, E-I-E-I-O. Now, as you know, I just kind of made up some of that. You can make up more verses to Old MacDonald had a farm and more animal noises. So why don't you go sing about a new animal that Old MacDonald had on his farm, and go look for all those books that you have that have animals in them, and look for toys as well. I will see you tomorrow.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel.
Don't forget to subscribe.